Hello and welcome to the Sallie Tomato YouTube channel. Join me today for another fun tutorial. This time we're going to be making a very easy to sew beverage tote using our Vinny pattern. I think you're going to enjoy this fun little tote designed by Jennifer Renke. You're going to be ready for any picnic or gathering with beverages at the ready. I'll show you options for the tote exterior and closures, and we'll cover some tips for easy assembly and then create a base to insert inside the tote. Be sure to purchase the pattern before beginning your project. The pattern and supplies can be purchased from our website or request them at your local quilt shop. We encourage you to shop local whenever you can. And I'm sure you're ready to get started, but remember, you can always pause the video as we go along so that we can sew at your pace. But now, gather some supplies, some tools, and let's get started. Before beginning, review the materials and supplies section on the back of the pattern. You may find it helpful to label your pieces as you cut them by marking the name of each piece on the wrong side with a removable pen or chalk. I'd like to give you just a quick tip before maybe cutting out all your pieces. Many different textures are available in the faux leathers. We have a pebble and a legacy textures. The pebble is a little firmer and is perfect for the Vinny bag because it has very little stretch and can take the weight of your tote when it has beverages in it. The legacy leather is much softer, so it does have a little stretch from selvage to selvage, but if you take care and cut your pieces parallel to the selvage edge, you'll notice as I'm doing a little stretch test here that along or with the selvage edge, the fabric has less stretch. So that would be a great option if you really prefer the look of the faux leather in the legacy pattern. You'll need your pieces cut from your main fabric and then your contrast. You'll also want to help stabilize your Vinny bag. Use the heavy stabilizer and then, as indicated on the back of the pattern, some fabric from a leftover project. It can be a cotton or linen, and you do need that cut a little larger. And remember to gather your hardware pieces that you'll need. You can certainly choose to use no hardware at all, but we do have a list on the back of the pattern for some great options that add style to your Vinny bag as well as different options for closures. First, finger press 3/8 inch to the wrong side along the short top edges of your pieces A, that's your front and back, and you can hold those in place with sewing clips or basting tape, and you're going to repeat that step for the short top edge of the piece B pocket if you decide to add a pocket. And then you're going to top stitch, following that fold edge with a 1/4 inch allowance. Another option would be to install a metal handmade label centered and just down from the top stitching on your pocket piece. All right, the next step is to cut out squares from both bottom corners of your front and back panels. You can always save those cutouts if you decided to add a closure of a snap or a stud button. You can use those as extra thickness or added padding. And then with right sides up, center your pocket on the front, just up from the bottom edge, and then tape your pocket in place. I'm just using Sallie Tomato washi tape, and then top stitch the sides and the bottom edge with an 1/8 inch allowance. The washi tape is perfect for this step because it peels away really easily, even if you've sewn through it. Next, we're going to mark the handle placements. So with a removable pen or chalk, mark short vertical lines and then horizontal lines following your pattern on the right side of your front and back panels. And we're ready to add our closures. If you'd like a snap closure, install 1/2 of the snap centered and just down from the fold edge of your piece A. You're going to repeat installing the second half of the snap on the remaining piece A. And This is where adding a little scrap of foam, if you have it, and that corner cutout comes in handy. It adds a little thickness to your panel, and that will help support the snap closure. For extra tips on installing snaps, check out Jess's blog post dated November 12th of 2020 on how to install line 20 snaps tutorial. I'm going to add the stud button closure. So first we need to shape piece D, that's the closure strap. So using the pattern or template that's included in your instructions, punch a hole, and then we're going to top stitch an 1/8 inch allowance all the way around, just like I've done here. Mark a line in from the short straight end of the strap on the right side, and then with right sides up, position the strap with the straight end centered below the top edge of your piece A back without the pocket, and then top stitch on the marked line, and then following the strap top stitching to top stitch along the sides and bottom edge of the strap, creating a box. Another option is to top stitch an X inside the box stitching. And now we can install the stud button centered and below the top edge of the front, and the measurement is in your pattern. This is where you can add a scrap of foam and a corner cutout to the wrong side to help support the stud button. You could certainly glue the foam and cutout in place, or if you pre-punch the holes, align the holes and then carefully top stitch following the edge or outer edge of the cutout corners. Again, be sure to check out our YouTube channel for a helpful video tutorial on installing your stud button. To make and attach the handles, first we're going to mark in from each short end on both contrast piece C handles. You'll have 2 sets of marks on each end. With right sides up, place an unstitched handle end within 1 set of the placement lines on your front piece. You can tape that in place. However, if you're adding Chicago screws or rivets as an extra decorative feature and reinforcement on your handle ends, you might think about adding a scrap of foam between the front and your handle end piece. Tape everything in place and then top stitch a box along the lowest mark on your handle, and then 1/8 inch in from the side and bottom edges of your handle. And you'll repeat this for the remaining handle end on your front, and then also repeat these steps to complete the handle, attaching it to the back panel. And just a quick note, before you attach the second end of your handle, check that you don't have any twist in your handle piece. And then you can certainly install your Chicago screws or the rivets inside the stitched boxes. And be sure to check out our video tutorials on our YouTube channel to install these pieces of hardware. All right, with the handle attached, now fold the handle wrong side together lengthwise, aligning the raw edges. And here I use quite a few sewing clips to hold those layers together. You certainly could use double-sided basting tape as well. You're going to top stitch along both long edges with an 1/8 inch allowance, and then stitch across the strap at the remaining marked line going across your strap. And I'm just going to fold the top edge of the tote down and away from the strap, and actually fold that whole tote area in half while I'm top stitching. You'll repeat this for your second handle, and then we're on to assembling the bag. With right sides together, align all the edges of the front and back pieces. And this is a great spot to use washi tape. You can place a strip of washi tape right where you need to align your edges of the fabric to get that 3/8 inch seam allowance. So I'm placing the tape between the 1/4 and 1/2 inch marks on my machine bed, and then sew the sides and bottom edge with a 3/8 seam allowance. Now, with right sides together, you're going to match the side seam and bottom seams, aligning the raw edges. We're going to be shaping the corners. You'll sew together with a 3/8 inch and 1/4 inch seam allowances, just like I've done here, and then turn the bag right side out and gently smooth out those boxed corners. We're ready to cover the base stabilizer. With fusible side down, center the stabilizer piece F, that's the base, on the wrong side of your scrap lining fabric. You can fuse in place, and then while you're at the ironing surface, fold the fabric corners and the edges over, covering your stabilizer base. There will be a little bit showing in the middle, and that's going to be covered with the contrast piece E. So position piece E right side up, covering those fabric edges, and then simply top stitch an 1/8 inch away from the folded edge of the fabric and the raw edge of piece E. You could certainly use basting spray and sewing clips to hold piece E in place, and for a no-sew option, consider using permanent craft glue or hot glue, adhering your contrast piece to the covered stabilizer base, and then place the base at the bottom of your Vinny tote for extra support. If you have extra fabric and stabilizer, you can always make an extra or a second base piece. That way you can slip that in between the beverages that are in your tote. That'll protect them. I hope you enjoy using your new beverage tote. Remember, Jen's design also makes the perfect holder for holiday and hostess gifts. And if you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment below and we'll try to answer them as soon as we can. Jen and all of us at Sallie Tomato encourage you to share photos of your projects using hashtag Sallie Tomato and hashtag Vinny Tote Pattern on social media. If you found this tutorial helpful, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. That way you'll always know when a new video is here. Visit our website for more mini patterns. They're designed for all skill levels and are intended to be a quick sew project. Thank you, Jen, for another fun pattern. And thank you for watching and sewing with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Until next time, have a great making day.